in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Super, on the other hand,
We'll
probably
just
not.
ignore that.
Probably not.
So,
Yeah.
okay. Writing question for you, Mello. Do you think the setup is better than, worse than, or equal to the payoff when it comes to writing?
We'll tell you Hot Boy Spicy's answer after.
I hate that name now. Man, I used
Well,
to
no,
like him.
no negativity from me, but
Well,
in term,
negativity from me.
But back to the
I
question.
yeah, can you repeat it again? Sorry.
Do you think setup in comparison to payoff is better than, worse than, or
Mhm.
like equal to it?
Oh, it's definitely better because
The
if
setup
you're
is
set
better?
up, it's the most important
Okay.
thing in comparison. Because if you're set, your setup is your hook. It's the
Yeah.
thing it's the lure. If you don't lure or hook me, like you can maybe even get me there, but if you don't keep me, it's like a YouTuber. It's like a thumbnail. It's like content. It's like, yeah, that's the most important. Your first impression is your best impression. I don't give a fuck about your conclusion. I might not even get there. So yeah.
That's interesting. Everyone's answering different answers so far.
I don't know what other answer you would give besides that
I
one.
agree
Hot
that
Boy
that.
a payoff.
Ooh, but okay. That's
I
weird
mean,
because
I
like
guess if you're a masochist and you like
if
endure the mid just to
if the
get to it, and then the
setup is
payoff
very
was good.
if the setup is like filled with like very like nonsensical, silly contrivances and doesn't really connect very well to the payoff, then what's really good about the payoff? The payoff may look cool, but like everything, all of its foundation is all shaky. Like, why would I enjoy that? Like, obviously, the setup is more important.
So
I enjoy the
I'll,
Well,
setup
my answer
better.
is equal.
Yeah, I lean more
There's a
towards equal
reason
as
I
well.
hate the prophecy arc. It's because the setup, peak 10 out of 10. The
Yep.
payoff, poop 0 out of 10.
how's it? So where's the equality come in?
The setup was great. But I hate the plot point because the payoff sucks.
So do you hate the plot? Do you hate the conclusion in equal measure that you love the setup?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I
It's
was
to
a
say
little confused
that
by what you were saying. Okay,
it's to
I
The
say
get it.
that
reason I hate it so much is because I liked the setup so much. So yeah.
yeah, it's
No,
to say that
okay,
both
I
are
have an
equally
example for you.
important, not that one is inherently better than the other. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's not saying that he prefers setup in general. If that
Okay, I see
makes
what you're saying.
sense. It's just like
But-
in this example,
but-
that's how it worked out. But that's also
like,
meaning that you can make a distinction between the two, separate the two, rather than saying the payoff can only be as good as the setup.
And I think this would is perspective, number one. But
Yeah.
from my perspective, yeah, the setup is 100% the most important thing. Like it's like WrestleMania. It sucked this year. A lot of people said, mostly because of the ending. I think the general consensus is that the show up until the ending was pretty solid, pretty good, and that ending just ruined the good stuff that came before. So in that sense, the setup got you to the conclusion. The conclusion wasn't like satisfactory. Some shows, though, however, have awful fucking matches leading up to the finale, and the finale is fantastic. It's the inverse, right? Inverse, reverse, whatever. So in that instance, I would have to watch a bunch of dog shit, but I'm a fan of wrestling, so I endure it. That's the context that matters here. So I endured enough to get to the conclusion, but I must endure it to get to said conclusion. Enduring is like the key part here. So you translate this back to boruto. If you don't hook me, I mean, you can just look at what happened in real life. Boruto anime manga did not hook its fan base, and it suffered as a result of that. So people don't even see the prophecy arc. They don't even see the end of part one. They don't even fucking know about TBV because they bailed out the series at the start when they were running to the local fucking Thunderburger. Like that's when they dropped out. So that setup for the franchise didn't hook anybody. So they didn't even see whatever conclusion may come about. Maybe someday, but they're not watching it with us. So who fucking cares about the conclusion if I'm not even there to see it? That don't even make sense to me.
Yeah, I think stories leave impressions, but endings leave lasting impressions.
Yeah, like a story can be.
I have to get to the ending though.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
the
a
point.
story can be ruined by a really bad ending. At least for
Absolutely.
me.
Only if the ending like retroactively changes
It's
the
like
previous events.
it's like Game of
Yeah.
Thrones. Fantastic for like 5 seasons and then turds. Shit.
Because like, what's the
worse than
point of
turds and shit?
enjoying like all this amazing setup when you know that the
Yep.
payoff is just like, oh, you just
Yep.
get ruined though.
Yeah,
Part
but
of it
that doesn't
depends,
ruin the
though, on
setup.
like what it's ruining. Because, for example, let's just say a story has
Retroactively.
4 arcs, or 4 seasons. The first 3 seasons might build towards whatever happens at the end of season 4, but it doesn't necessarily all build up to that horrible ending. It could just be true that the first 3 seasons are peak 10 out of 10, and it's only season 4 where it sucks. So that doesn't necessarily ruin your enjoyment of the first 3 seasons,
I
even
agree.
if you hate season 4.
Exactly.
Kind of
Well,
depends on how it's the setup and the ruining happens.
it depends on how like crazy like like the final like the payoffs of it is. Because like if every single like thing that was set up for the payoffs of all the events all sucks, and it's like, oh, the story is just gonna ruin that.
It
Well,
also
I
depends on
think
how it's ruining it, quote unquote. Because in some cases, like, oh, let's just you love Land of Waves, it really invokes your emotion and so on. Well, just because I'm gonna take a fan contrivance, Plague of Gripes, Naruto Destiny is ruined, blah blah blah. That doesn't mean you can't rewatch Land of Waves and feel the same emotions, even if you think their whole story is retroactively ruined because hard work beats talent, whatever. I don't know. You get the point. Like, it kind of depends on what it's doing too.
Mhm.
I agree.
Yeah.
bro, what is happening to my computer? Jesus Christ.
You've been
Oh,
going
my
crazy over
sticky
there all
notes are
night with that computer.
loading. What the fuck is happening?
But I think Kamui, the proof is in the pudding. The fact that he doesn't like, I don't like it either, the end of the prophecy arc, but and overall, we don't like the prophecy arc because of the ending, but we still, in spite of that, think the first half of the prophecy arc is good. We're separating the entire arc from the first half of it, when the second half is what
Well,
ruins it.
I think what you need to do is establish phases in time and versions of yourself. And what I mean by that is like when you say like your enjoyment of the early parts of a series that had a bad ending don't get ruined. I think you need to take like that version of yourself that enjoyed that and then separate him from you now.
You could
And
do
then
that.
and then say like my position is a position from this current me. And I can look back at this series and say this ending, I can look back and retroactively say this ending ruined this beginning for me.
It
Not at
can
the
if you,
time.
you might
if you
not
have
say it,
something that
though.
you
but
just
the
can't get
now-
out of your mind. But like what I'm saying is right now, if I went back and reread the prophecy arc, knowing where it goes, I would still enjoy the setup just as much, even though I don't like the payoff.
I mean, I've had this sort of thing, like with rewatching things. I've rewatched the Kawaki arc a billion times. I still like when Borushiki is talking about the blue eyes in that scene, even though it makes no sense in the long run, and among other things. So I'm rewatching and still liking it, even though certain things are ruined.
See, that's the difference between you and me. See, you said liking. I say liked, past tense. So
Mhm.
for me, it's not present tense. I'm not liking it. I liked it maybe at the time with the whole blue eyes thing, but then to see the payoff be absolutely nothing during the end of that arc, yeah, I liked it. I don't like it. And if I go back and I look at one of the most important plot points in the entire franchise, Boruto franchise, I'm like, it amounted to fucking shit. And it kind of seems like every time I look at like Boruto and these like little stories and plot points or whatever, they always kind of seem to reach an unresolved end or a shit
Yeah, I'm
end.
not gonna lie.
Or a
Boruto as a
very-
series has really bad payoff. I
Or
think
payoffs
9
that
times
are,
out of
like,
10 it has
really
great setup,
quick.
horrible payoff.
Yeah. Or like payoffs that are like super quick, and then they just move right on. It's like, okay,
Besides
it's
the
like,
best
see,
two
I'm
of
glad
them.
that wasn't that satisfying.
I'm glad that like fucking Boruto died and came back the very next chapter. That was brilliant. That was awesome. Like,
What do you mean? That was
You gotta-
fantastic. That's the best
yeah, I
part of
mean,
the series.
and then the whole reason they did that stupid shit was to write themselves out of the whole fucking mechanic with the karma. It's so fucking lazy, bro. It's
And while they do that, they'll go ahead and introduce something that makes no sense, such as Momoshiki turning 18% of his data into human Boruto data. But Boruto's 100% of Suzuki, even though he's only 82% of Suzuki.
But again, that's all convenient writing. It's a deus ex machina to be convenient for the plot, but that doesn't actually impact the story necessarily.
It's a deus ex machina? I thought it was deus ex machina.
It is.
Well, except